What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers. And of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Bulls are coming off of back-to-back losses from, you can say, okay, let's get it right out the way. They lose to the Memphis Grizzlies. They lose to the Brooklyn Nets. Both of those games were against opponents where you would think the Bulls match up well. In one of those games, DeMar DeRozan did not play. Now, on the week, after a few losses, you look at the Bulls and say, okay, they're going into a game versus a team who, came back and Donovan Mitchell put up 70 against them, et cetera, et cetera. They haven't beat the Cavaliers. And it's a lot to be said about the Bulls and the Cavaliers, right? One team is going one way. The Bulls are still trying to find their footing, even at this stage of the season. And it leads me to believe, okay, the Bulls did no moves during the trade deadline, so they're okay with what they have. Vucevic, DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Alex Caruso, Ayo Dosunmu, Lonzo Ball, even though he's not playing. So it seems like the Bulls are okay with what they have, and they gonna give it a shot and see what happens through the rest of the season. Now, in tonight's matchup, the Chicago Bulls did go out there and start their usual five. You seen Ayo Dosunmu out there with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan at the 3, Patrick Williams at the 4, and Nikola Vucevic, man, in the middle. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, you saw pretty much the 5 that they have been putting out there when they are healthy. You've seen Darius Garland with Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro with the 2 bigs of Mobley and Allen. Now, of course, Donovan Mitchell did get the first basket of the game, but Vucevic came along the other way and got the first basket for Chicago. You seen Zach LaVine get to the rim. Patrick Williams was very aggressive early. He did get an early 3 in this basketball game. You seen Patrick Williams get out on the break in an early 7 points by Patrick Williams. Ayo Dosunmu got to the rim. You seen Patrick Williams being active early, not only offensively but defensively. Zach LaVine himself with a 3. And the Bulls' offense was looking good early. You seen Evan Mobley hit a few threes early on in this basketball game. Donovan Mitchell with a 3. But Zach LaVine was being aggressive. And that's the type of thing you want to see from Zach, no matter who's guarding him. It was mainly Isaac Okoro at a majority of this basketball game. And I feel like Zach LaVine did what he was supposed to do in this ball game. He did what he was supposed to do early. It was mainly about everybody else around him. You seen Vucevic with points in the paint. Andre Drummond off the bench, he was getting inside. And the Chicago Bulls did lead by 3 after the first quarter by 29-23. And I'm saying to myself, okay, you play a team like Cleveland, you got them down in the first quarter. This is where you have to figure out how to win the basketball game. That's basically what you have to do. You have this team down. Now figure out how to win the basketball games. Play a full 48. Now, DeMar DeRozan get the first basket of the second quarter. You've seen DeMar DeRozan with some good passes, one mainly to Andre Drummond. The Cavaliers started to get fast break points. Jared Allen started to get to the rim. And the Chicago Bulls turnovers started rearing their ugly heads. And by turnovers, I meant unforced errors. It was moments in the quarter where I seen guys just going to the sideline and throwing the ball backcourt. It was guys just being unforced turnovers, unforced errors. And the Chicago Bulls were passing the ball fairly well in this basketball game. But in that second quarter, man, you just seen a lot of turnovers. You seen Kobe White facilitating, getting passes to Drummond inside. The Bulls did begin to get in transition, and they were turning defense to offense. That's one thing I missed in this game. The Bulls did not get out on the break enough and get in transition enough with their athletes. You seen Ayo Dosunmu continue to get to the rim. Big shout outs to one guy mainly, and that's Kobe White. Isaac Okoro had one of the better plays where he could have just dunked the basketball, and you seen Kobe White get up there and block it. I had to definitely give some love to that. That play was insanely awesome. Also, you seen a great half by Zach LaVine. He did put up 14 points in the half, and the Bulls were up by 9 at the half, by 40-49. So after 24 minutes, I figured you can't ask for a better half. You know, you have the Cavaliers only put up 40 points. You know, they were on pace to score 80 for the game. What more can you ask for? In the beginning of the third, you seen Vucevic get the first basket. DeMar DeRozan's jumper started to fall, and the Bulls were up as much as 12 in this quarter. Patrick Williams was rebounding. He had a putback. You seen DeMar DeRozan hit 2 threes in the third, and the Bulls up 10 halfway through the quarter. You seen Ayo to Vucevic inside. Again, Kobe White passing, but then the Cavaliers started to catch a rhythm. This is where they started to catch a rhythm, whether it was Darius Garland, whether it was Evan Mobley, but the main one to give life and force into the Cleveland Cavaliers was Donovan Mitchell. It just seemed like once a few plays started to go the Cavaliers' way, the Chicago Bulls basically started to unravel as a team. I don't know if they were shell-shocked. I don't know if they were too high up on the fact that they were winning most of the basketball game, but the Chicago Bulls from midway through the third into the fourth quarter, the Chicago Bulls just could not get themselves back into the flow of this basketball game. To my surprise, I'll be honest, as I look at the team stats, to my surprise, as the Chicago Bulls turned the ball over 22 times tonight to their 27 assists, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. At one point in the fourth quarter, the Chicago Bulls only scored 4 points. Unacceptable. You have one All-Star and 2 guys who are former All-Stars. Unacceptable. The only guy that I felt like wanted this win late was Zach LaVine. Even though he only had 14 points at one point in the quarter, he did end up having 9. At one, the Bulls did go on a late spurt, but it was too little, too late, and they ended up losing tonight to the Cleveland Cavaliers by a final score of 97-89. The Chicago Bulls have lost 3 straight after winning 3 straight. They only scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. The high man for the game was Donovan Mitchell with 29. You seen Zach LaVine with 23, shot 8 of 16 from the field, shot better on the free throws. He went 5 of 5. As far as rebounds go, Vucevic did have 14. Donovan Mitchell had 10 himself, 7 defensive, 3 offensive, and assists. Ayo Dosunmu did have 8. You seen Darius Garland with 5 turnovers and 7 assists. The Chicago Bulls, neither the Chicago Bulls or Cleveland Cavaliers had a 30-point quarter. And that brings me to my next point. Yes, the Bulls did lose this game. You can be upset about that. But I think the Chicago Bulls in this particular game beat themselves. They beat themselves. At times in the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan didn't look at the basket. Zach LaVine chose to go 1-on-5 at times. The offense did not revolve around Vucevic where I felt like it should have, because Jarrett Allen was in foul trouble. I feel like the Bulls let this one get away. They could have won this basketball game, but being as though they have to figure out how to complete 48 minutes of NBA basketball. You have to figure that out. You have to figure out how to win games versus opponents that are in your same division, number one. Number two, you have to figure out, whether it's Billy Donovan or whatever, you have to figure out who's closing the basketball game. And I'm not meaning what players are out there. I'm meaning who is out there to make the best decisions. We need a decision maker. That's the thing with the Bulls late in games. They don't have somebody to get these guys, in the right spots and making plays and executing late. That's how you win basketball games. Even if you take off and get a lead, even if you get it in there and take a lead and you go up by double digits, you have to figure out when you have this team down how to win and finish basketball games. That's why guys like Chris Paul are so valuable. Even though he might not be a 20, 25 point scorer, he knows how to get guys in the right position, and he knows what it takes to win a basketball game late. That's how you do. You execute, you dominate. You execute, you dominate, and that's the reason why the Chicago Bulls are a subpar below 500 team at 26-30. We're 56 games into the season. 56. We have the All-Star break coming up. I believe the Bulls only play a handful of games next week. I believe they do. They play Monday, Wednesday, Thursday before the All-Star break and don't come back to the following Friday. So in the next coming week, their next 3 games are against Orlando, which is going to be tough, Indiana, which is going to be tough, and Milwaukee. And we're talking about the Bucks, who are the hottest team in basketball right now. So the Bulls, in my opinion, have to fix it. They have to figure it out. At least in this next 3 games, they have to figure out how to get two out of these 3. At least get 2 out of these 3. Go into the All-Star break at 500, or try to get close to 500 as possible, and run through the tape and get the home stretch. That's all that to be said. Now we're in the thick of it, where you're looking up at other teams that you should be head and shoulders above. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to be said, a lot to be done with not a lot of time left. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. NBA fans, Chicago Bulls fans, Cleveland Cavaliers fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into this channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.